Right, something that you might be interested in.
Oh, really?
It's a sensor that keeps an eye on every door in this place, okay? Why doesn't every elementary school in this country have sensors at every entrance point?
Hey, Tim. Show me the silver.
Which one?
Any of it. Or gold.
Yeah, I still have some gold. You know, we got...
Oh, you got
some of the silver came in. The 5-ounce and 10-ounce bars came in. The buffaloes are out there. The kilos are out there, sitting on a truck someplace.
The 5-ounce silver bars have been a challenge for you, haven't they?
They have, but these are from Italy, so I guess they found somebody who's making them.
Well, the dollar's been on a tear, up 6.3% since the beginning of the year, and this really is one of the main drivers with the price of gold. I mean, it's a competing currency,
gold
right?
And silver, yeah.
Gold, especially gold, but also silver too, right?
Yeah, well, the ratio stays up there. It's going to stay high because gold is still a worldwide currency. Silver, they don't care if it gets kicked around. But yeah, gold is becoming more and more important. And, you know, there are a lot of central banks that just don't have a lot of gold. But, yeah, you reprice the commodities in dollars, and the dollars, you know, $1.04 or $1.05 or whatever the hell it is, the commodities are going down in price. But we have a different situation. We have a government that is trying to destroy the fossil fuel industry. Mm-hmm. And, you know, their attitude is, well, if you make it too painful to fill your car with gasoline, go find an alternative, which is nonsense. Mm-hmm. I mean, who's going to find an alternative? And then if we all buy electric cars, or if the government buys us all electric cars, or whatever they plan to do, you know, buy me an electric car with your money. You know, the electric grid will collapse.
Yep.
But that is central planning at its worst. Right. Okay, central planning never works. Socialism is nothing more than nonsense talk. I mean, it's stuff of Dr. Seuss books, and they continue to say the same thing. They think that if they make it too painful to fill your car with gasoline, then you'll find an alternative.
When it comes to the gas prices, we're going through an incredible transition that is taking place that, God willing, when it's over, will be stronger and the world will be stronger and less reliant on fossil fuels when this is over.
Yeah, the whole thing is nonsense.
It is,
you don't destroy an industry before you build a new industry.
I know. This is green politics right now. That's all this is.
They're stupid because it's never going to take off unless it's financially feasible.
But since when does government care about financial feasibility? They're constantly subsidizing and propping up companies. You know that.
Elizabeth Warren famously said when they asked her how she was going to pay for her $32 trillion medical plan, she said, "There's always money."
Get ready for SD Bullion's Monster Box sweepstakes that includes 500 Silver Eagles. You could be the next lucky recipient of a phone call like this.
This is Dr. Tyler Wall, CEO of SD Bullion. Well, I'm calling you to let you know that you won the SD Bullion giveaway of a Monster Box of Silver Eagles.
So click the link below for your chance to win.
Let me get one more thing that irks me. Okay?
Absolutely, Tim.
You know,
I'll button up. Go ahead.
When I close this door and open it, what does she say? Fault, zone 4. If I open the back door, she says, fault, zone 5. If I open the front door, she says, fault, zone 1. Why is she saying that? Well, because there's a sensor that keeps an eye on every door in this place, okay? Why doesn't every elementary school in this country have sensors at every entrance point and a high-def camera so that when you hear the fault zone 1 or person at door 1 or whatever it is, look at the screen to see who it is. Now, if it's somebody carrying a gun, why would you open that door? Well, you're not going to. But what is going on in this country? We can spend $40 billion that's going to be divided up by oligarchs in Ukraine. Okay, they're all right now. They're all flying around. They're docking their multi-million-dollar yachts. They're flying back to Ukraine so they can carve up the pie. That's the way that will work. Okay, why don't we use some of that money to secure every elementary school in this country, every single one? This system here that alerts me to a door being open is 35 years old. It's not new technology. Apply the new technology. My buddy Jack, when he's in here, he has a place in West Virginia, and he has game cameras. He says, "Hey, look," and he's showing the film. The bear's back, or what's that look like to you? And I said, "It looks like a mountain lion." He said, "Yeah, that's what it looks like to me." And he said, it's a long way from the camera, but that's what it looks like. I mean, this is his house in West Virginia. Why can't we use some of the technology that doesn't cost anything today and harden every school in the country?
Wow, that was great, Tim. I agree with you 100%.
The problem began after the Second World War. We built stuff for everybody, including Mosin-Nagant rifles were made in this country. The Russians had to send gold and platinum here to pay for all the things we made for them. We made lots of stuff for England. We made lots of stuff for France. And all these countries, being desperate and being annihilated in the Second World War, sent a lot of their gold here. That started the problem, because what are you going to pay for your gold to get it back? Well, they're paying with fiat currency. And we didn't want any of that. So that's what the Bretton Woods agreements were all about. Yep. Okay, we'll take your currency, but we're going to change the price of gold to suit us. And I don't think that was even said, but that was the conclusion. Mm-hmm. And that's when Nixon let it float. I think the opinion in his financial advisors was we should raise it from $35 to $44 an ounce, and he said, that doesn't make any sense. Let's see how much they're willing to pay, and it went right up to $75 an ounce. But we're returning the gold for paper money. As a result of those two conferences, we became the world's reserve currency, mm-hmm. and that added stability around the world. Mm-hmm. So now nobody likes it. And they many times, since the Bretton Woods agreements, there have been lots of discussions about, maybe we should have, China as part of this, or maybe we should have, maybe we shouldn't be squeezing Russia out. All this stuff. And there still is no good alternative, and that's why it's all going to end up with digital currency.
I think right now Europe is concerned about the parity right now with the dollar and the euro.
Oh, why? Because the euro's going back to parity?
Yeah, the DXY, I guess, is 102 last I checked, or just over. Yen and euro have been hit really hard.
Well, when the euro started, it was 88 cents. And they thought it would go right to par. And it didn't. So there are lots of financial dealings, to get the euro up there, but it got out of control. Went up to $1.34 or something like that. Mm-hmm. And I think where it is now is probably where it belongs, because all the currencies in the world are fiat currencies. Okay? And there's only one where the debt is doubling and tripling, and that's the dollar, because we have that reserve currency status. Mm-hmm. And if that ends, there are trillions of dollars that come flying back to this country. Trillions of dollars. Yep. And that's a catastrophe that they don't know what to do about. We're basically resisting the removal of the dollar as the world's reserve currency. But it's got to happen eventually, and they've been prepping for this since the original European concept. Keep in mind, though, they didn't provide any provision. There's no provision of any kind, no no door they can go through to pay down their debt. The European Union started with all these countries had lots of debt, and there's no way they can pay the debt. When this country started, the federal government actually went around to the original 13 states and said, put your whatever your contribution at the revolution was on paper, and we'll pay that off. And they did. Took a few years, but they paid the debt off. This country started out as a country with no debt. The only debt was what individual states, contributed to themselves. The European Union started out with everybody was drowning in debt, and now they're so underwater. The only way out is a digital currency. They have no other way of paying the debt. Now, how do you pay debt with digital currency? A few strokes in the computer. That's basically what they're looking at. It's gone that far. But then, how are we going to pay our debt?
Yeah, I think there's going to be alarm at some point. Maybe when the euro is like, I don't know, 0.9 of the dollar. I wouldn't be surprised if there's an intervention. I don't know if there'll be a Plaza Accord 2, but something's going to have to happen here.
The people in Europe decided it was 88 cents. It could go back there.
Okay. Yep.
That's what it was on June 30th, 2002, when they cut over to the euro. That's what it was, 88 cents. And the funny thing was, nobody could do the math, because Germany, for example, was 49 cents to the mark, and the euro's 88 cents. So they just took a pen and they crossed out DM and wrote in E. So a cab ride that cost you 10 marks now costs you 10 euros. Double the price.
Nice.
Worldwide debt is the problem. It's the reason that they're talking about a new world order. It's the reason they have these conferences every year in Davos. It's how do we get out of this? How do we get out? Well,
yeah, they know there's a
the
problem.
only way is to, crash the U.S. economy and then start all over. It's got to be a worldwide reset.
The future is not just happening. The future is built by us, by a powerful community as you here in this room.
There'll be so many people in the labor market that don't have jobs that people will be fleeing to Mexico.
Okay.
Where there'll be jobs. No,
Okay.
maybe not.
On that note, though, I want to look at the alternative to the dollar, especially gold. Do you have gold?
That's something that you might be interested in.
Oh, really? Not quarters?
With the green top, you think it was their miniature American Eagles, right? Silver
One would
Eagles.
think. One would think. Can I touch them?
Sure.
Carefully.
Where'd you buy them all?
I'd love to buy them all, Tim. Yeah, those are very nice. And what's gold doing right now, as of the recording of this video?
Last time I looked at it was around 1850.
Okay.
It had dropped down from 1865, I think it was. There's no stability in gold.
But there seems to be kind of a floor here around the 1800 mark, doesn't it? That's a
I
lot.
definitely 1800.
Yeah.
I definitely think so, because you have accelerated buying by certain countries as soon as it gets to a certain level, and they all kind of compete with each other because they know as soon as one country starts buying it, it's going to start going up again. I think this time it was just the math. I think that's the only reason that it went up, because the stock market dropped around to 31.4 or something like that, which is more than a 5,000 point drop from the high, right?
Yeah.
And I think that that encouraged gold to go up, because I think people said, well, boy, that's a lot of money coming out of the stock market. It's got to be going somewhere. So people jumped on that bandwagon. That didn't last long. 2 days.
Yeah.
2 day rally.
I don't think the tantrum is over, though, in the markets.
Not at all.
Not at all, right? Yep.
No, I mean, people are searching for solutions. I mean, a lot of Amazon buyers or Amazon stockholders, cashing in. The Twitter Elon Musk situation, that's going to take another turn. The surprising thing that I heard, it's mind-boggling is that all of Twitter is nothing but a political tool. When you say half of Biden's followers are fake accounts, the president, has nice things to say to the poor people in Texas. I would be crushed if something like that would happen to one of my children. And then he says, and we gotta get tougher. For God's sake, we gotta take on the gun lobby. Now he's got, 1 million people who are on the keyboard going, for God's sake, we gotta take on the gun lobby. Okay? That's an total elimination of freedom of speech and freedom of thought. Okay? It's because you got somebody out there who's not that political saying, wow, everybody's saying maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe, because I thought the Second Amendment was a good thing. Maybe
it impacts public opinion.
It does, definitely does. And Musk is right in slashing that offer from $54 a share. Probably, if it were me, I'd say $30 a share. Half your accounts could be fake. And, it's nothing but a political tool.
All right. So, definitely.
Getting back to the business at hand.
I want one of those. I'm building a Yankee cannon part 2 the hard way, Tim. One at a time.
That's the hard way.
That's the hard way. And what other silver is lurking inside that wonderful safe of yours?
I actually have lots of backdate silver eagles.
Okay.
Still touch and go with the Maple Leafs.
Okay. Do you have any really disgusting looking rounds? Even one?
Disgusting looking round.
Just all scratched up, messed up, ugly silver round.
That's not a pristine. I'll be all right, but without putting on the verifier, I wouldn't stick my life on.
Yeah, I would either have to have you do that or pull out my pocket pinger and ping it to see if it's legit. But you've got your tool out, so
you're my electronic pinger.
Yeah, you're expensive one.
That's right in there. It's just kind of nasty.
Yeah, I noticed how nasty that looked. Scratched up, dinged on the edges.
Still kind of sounds flat.
Yeah.
999 pure.
Okay, yep.
What is the monogram on there? I didn't even look at it.
I'll have to. Yeah, it's been beat up. I'll take it.
Oh, it's RMC.
Yes, RMC.
Republic Metals Corp.
Republic Metals, yeah, I have a few of them. Yeah, so we'll go cheap. And okay, do you think gold's cheap right now? Historically?
I think all the metals are cheap. And the COMEX really is going to have to let silver go at some point. Right now, there's really no incentive. And I think they probably have contracts with most of the refineries in the country to send them whatever they can in 999.
Right.
But, there are no mines that are operating. They're kind of working against themselves.
Well, a lot of silver, though, from mines are a byproduct, right? They're going after this stuff. That's really what they're mining, and they get silver as a byproduct, right?
It's financially justified. At $1,800, you can spend a lot of diesel fuel to get the gold.
Get the gold.
So that's still, those mines are still operating. It's silver at $21 or $22 an ounce, and you're burning, overseas.
Yeah.
It's like $10 to $12 a gallon in diesel fuel. You can't
That's
make
not
it
going to
work.
work. You can't be going after this. You got to be going after this, I think, still. How do you keep all this knowledge in your head, Tim?
I'm losing track of everything else.
Oh, we're in the once something goes in, something's got to come out
That's
stage.
exactly right, yeah. And by the time I'm 80, I'll be absolutely stupid. I won't remember anything but coins.
Much. You'll be ready to serve public office, right, Tim? Yeah, you're running.
Once your mind is totally gone, it's time to get elected to Congress.
Congress. I thought presidency.
Well, no, that's seriously lost.
It's dementia and it's sad.
I hope that the guy was going to stick to the issue at hand. He's dealing with people who've gone through the crisis of their lives, and he attacks the gun lobby. For God's sake, I don't appreciate his invoking the word of God every time he has something to say that's nasty to the other side.
Hate that.
I don't like that at all.
Hey, Yankee, how's it going?
Hey, doing great. How you doing?
Well, getting in that stacking thing since I started watching your videos.
So what are you looking to buy from Tim? What are you getting?
Getting a couple gold buffaloes, a couple gold eagles, and 60 silver eagles.
Very nice.
Well, this is my first order.
Really? Oh, that's
Yeah.
wonderful. Good for you.
I've been gold panning a lot over the years,
Cool.
prospecting, and well, they're a bit here in Indiana and also Georgia. I was going to post a picture of me sitting there in the creek panning gold, and put a caption under there: "If you want gold, call Tim." It's a lot easier.
Well, Richard, thank you so much for watching my videos, watching Tim, and buying some gold and silver from him. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks a lot. You guys, you take care too.
Wow. How about that?
I think Yankee's going to someday take his Dremel tool and crack it out of there.
I don't know, man. Do you think I should?
That's a 70.
But shouldn't 70 stay all pristine inside a piece of plastic?
Tell you what. Ask your community what they're willing to pay for a mid-state 70 Buffalo.
I'll do that.
And, we get a high offer, we'll send it to them.
All right.
I'll even send them an autographed Yankee sticker.
Oh, yeah, that'll seal the deal. All right. Take care.
Thank you.